Do you like that area your wife made for you?
Yes, I do. I like the lights. Yeah, I've always enjoyed the hammock. The plants are nice too.
Well said.
This is my second sleeping place.
Yeah. It's where you watch your wife work.
No, well, today maybe.
I missed the not always part. Darn it, I shut the camera off right when you said not always. Hello, welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name is Karen. So this is the area we're dealing with today. Last year, I cleared this out. I mean, it was like years of leaves and sticks and such. This year, I'm going to clean it out again, but I'm going to put a nice bench for the neighbors. So when they're walking, if they get tired, they can sit and have a little rest. This is the area I'm talking about. I wouldn't be mad about it if I got over here a little bit, because I want all of this to look nice as though it's part of my yard. And even over here, there's like a short bit that is my property. Have you seen the list I made you today yet?
I'll have to go in and find it after I empty out the sink and the dishes.
Oh, I should guess you could have put these.
You want a bucket or something?
Well, my buckets are too small. That's all right. I'll just get a lot of exercise.
You want to lay it on a piece of plastic or something?
No. Just bring it over to the fire area.
Well, you could just set it on the other side of the wall.
Oh, that just creates... I didn't actually want a solution, that's clear. But I was just kind of realizing, oh, here I am, and I don't have anywhere to put these sticks. So my husband, he's offering me buckets, you know, put it on plastic. He's got lots of ideas. And I was like, nah, I'll just walk back and forth. It's really fine. I'm trying to take care of it in layers. So the first layer is the big sticks. And I did have a fire that day. And so I just burned them right then, which was great. And, you know, now that I have the big pile from the blizzard we had in April cleaned up, now as I go, I will burn, hopefully, the day I clean it up. Unless it is super hot, then of course I would not. But it's just a campfire. You know, I don't need to go through the hassle of getting a burn permit from the town and all that stuff. So I am just pecking away at those things with my campfire, and then anyone who wants to come out for marshmallows can do that, and I'm just staying stocked with, you know, s'mores. With the sticks removed, the first thing I'm going to do is pull up any little volunteer trees, and then I'll go ahead, rake, and, or maybe I'll weed whack and then rake. That sounds like a better idea. So I'm going to get those little volunteer trees first, because they'll just come right back up. Wow, they're all very well rooted. So that's not going as well as I hoped. All right, I know what I'm beat. I was doing this work on June 1st, which was the day the bench was scheduled to arrive. So that was my motivation, was getting everything ready for the bench to arrive. And wouldn't you know it, it didn't come. And then the next day when I looked online, it said it would come on or before June 6th. And then June 4th, which was my yesterday, my yesterday, actually your yesterday too, if you're watching this as soon as it goes up, the FedEx guy showed up with my bench. So it was a very happy birthday for me to get that bench on my 59th birthday. So now I'm able to get it all finished. You know, you'll see at the end what it looks like with the bench, but I'm not done yet. I'm going to be adding more things. I feel like I might need to add some more dirt. Anyways, I'll explain all that to you when I show you the bench. I actually intended to have this video up for you yesterday on my birthday, but I didn't get it done the night before, and I was just too tired. And then as soon as I got up for my birthday, I had plans to walk on the beach with a girlfriend, which was so much fun. And then we went to a nice little coffee shop that had homemade donuts, and I had a homemade blueberry donut, which, oh my goodness, it's been a very long time since I've had a donut. Never mind one that was homemade. So that was an extra special treat. And then, of course, I got home. My husband had surprised me and taken the afternoon off from work. So it ended up being just a super relaxing day and definitely not appropriate for me to work. You know, your family wants to celebrate you. They don't want you holed up in your bedroom doing a voiceover. So I thought, well, my viewers won't mind. And then today we were up and off and running. So, and I'm still late.
The immediate area where the bench is going to go is all cleared up. So now I'm going to hit to one side and then I'll go to the other side. This side is the clearest, so that'd be the easiest place to start. Oh, I forgot I was going to get a Rubbermaid bucket for my sticks. I'm going to go get that now.
I ended up remembering that there was a Rubbermaid outside from when we had gone and donated some things. So then I thought, okay, I could bring the Rubbermaid over to put sticks in as I go about the different spots. That worked out really well because then it was all ready for the fire. I have been really struggling with my energy level, and some of you have been trying to help me with that. One day I had stomach cramps, and many of you knew that I had stomach flu, a few weeks back, and so some had advised me to get to work on my gut health, and so I'm doing that, and I think that was wise because I don't have a gallbladder. So when I do have stomach flu, it's pretty violent. I'm not going to go into detail, but it's not pleasant. The other thing is there is a strain of, the pandemic disease with the big C. I don't know if YouTube wants us to say it. They had not wanted us to say the word back in 2020, so I don't know. But you know what I mean. Well, someone told me that the newest strain is gastrointestinal. So that is possibly why I am not getting my energy back. So I'm just having to be patient with myself and work when I can, rest when I have to. And that is always my recommendation to everyone, whether you're struggling to recover from an illness or you have a chronic illness, or you're just getting, you're getting older and you're losing some energy, or if you're taking care of young children and they're running you ragged, or maybe you're taking care of your grandkids or your own children. We just have to do what we can do, and we have to trust God with the rest, knowing that it is enough. And I'm not a brain surgeon, so I know no one is going to die if I take a nap.
I feel like some mulch would be good right there, but we'll see what hubby says if we should spend that money or not. But I got this all cleared out, so now I'm going to hit this area. And this part really is for me, and then I'd like to get over here, but that might be a project for another day. I know at the very least I've weed whacked over here a little bit. I could bring the weed whacker over here again. And then another day, just cut all this stuff to the telephone pole down. So this hump here is caused by plowing as well as when they grate the dirt road. So my husband is suggesting that he could dig this up a little bit and make this whole area flatter. So I'm going to let him.
I knew he wouldn't last in that hammock too terribly long, because he's sitting there watching me work. And who can do that? You can't watch somebody work. It just either makes you want to get up and get moving, or you just feel bad. So hopefully he wanted to get up and get moving. Hopefully it wasn't that he felt bad. I think it was that he wanted to get up and get moving. He just is a people lover. He is such an extrovert. And so his vision was expanding on mine. Here I was feeling guilty that I was thinking of buying one little pot of flowers to put there. And he was talking about buying pavers and making it look nice and putting in little steps. And, so that was really cool. And so we might be doing that. I was pricing out pavers today because we wouldn't need very many. He was just saying it might stabilize the bench more. And so that might be something that comes up. And I might have another pile of, what I call junk dirt, which is like used dirt that we had for other purposes. We have piles in different places on the edge of our property. I'm going to ask him if he has another, because you'll see that might be a requirement later too. But, we're just trying to do the best we can and give, someone a place to sit. I remember when we visited New York City with our children, and of course we're walking around doing subways and that sort of thing. We didn't know the city at all. We're using like online help, and it was back before online help was all that helpful, because it was quite a bit ago, because my son's 30 and it was when he was in high school. So one of the things I noticed, besides the fact that there was literally nowhere to go to the bathroom, was that there weren't really benches out. You're walking, you've got kids with you, and there weren't any benches. And then I got to thinking, well, where I live, there aren't any benches either if somebody was out walking. And, the weight of Mainers, our body weight statistically is pretty high in comparison to other places. And the other thing I noticed in New York City, and maybe it's because the people who couldn't do the walking weren't out walking, but I noticed that no one really seemed all that heavy. But I think that you do a lot more walking actually in the city, whereas in Maine, many of us are in rural parts. It's really not common to have sidewalks. There are some sidewalks. I can think of one road that has a stretch of sidewalk, but it's pretty rare to find sidewalks, certainly not anywhere I have lived other than when we were first married and we had an apartment in downtown Portland. But sidewalks are not very common. Dogs are super common. When we lived in one certain town that had defunded the police department, everybody had dogs that were not safe. They would attack. I'm not going to name breeds, but it just, my husband was bit like 3 or 4 times while we lived there. It was bad. Anyway, so it wasn't really a place that you would necessarily go out walking either. And I thought, boy, if I could even be a small part of letting somebody go for a walk knowing that they had a resting spot, if, they were getting back up on their feet or new to walking or just plain prone to tiredness, or if their dog needed water on a hot day, different things. And that would make me feel so good. And so I'm really hoping and praying that people will use it. And, even if they didn't, it's a really pretty bench. I would use it. And if it took a long time and no one was using it, I could always put it in my yard as well. So I have that, and also it was metal, or it is metal, and it was either $119 or $129, and I will link it in case you'd like to look at it. And then others will come up too that would be in that similar price range, I'm sure, if you didn't like that particular bench and it was an idea that you wanted either for your yard or for your road. One of you had mentioned because I was talking about painting rocks, of putting encouraging words on rocks and doing a bucket of rocks. And then if somebody needed an encouraging word, they could take that with them. And I thought, man, is that a great idea. So in this video, you'll see me do the first one. I did a bunch of rocks, but what I'm going to show you in this video is the one that will go out in this area. And then in another video on another day, I'll show you the rest. I actually am planning a video that just kind of shows some very economical and also very free gardening ideas that you can use to beautify your yard. So I want to save some of that for that particular video. So Robin is finishing up and I'm finishing up, and then we'll move on to the rocks, and then I'll show you the bench, because the bench came in and we were able to put it together so I could, and thankfully I didn't give you a video yesterday so that I am able to share what it looks like today. So Cree will be leaving soon. Do you want me to take her for you?
That's up to you. I can drive.
Well, since you're doing this.
I'm done with it.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah, I just need to get this stuff out of here.
What are you going to do with it?
It's going to go over to the side yard and dry out, and then you can use it to start fire.
Okay. So that's all cleared out now, looking great, and we just wait for the bench to arrive.
What I have here that I am using, these pens are acrylic paint markers. Interestingly, they're water-based and they're also waterproof. How does that work? I don't know. It's magic. And then for the painting, I looked up patio paint, and so I have Deco Art outdoor patio paint. I got both of these on Amazon, and I can have it linked in my description box below, or I can link up my Amazon store in the first comment. So the pens were Droaful is the name of the brand. I got pens because, you know, I'm not the best painter. And so these actually do also dry very quickly. So I would start working on another rock while I was waiting for the first coat to dry. I didn't do a multitude of coats unless the paint was so light that it didn't seem to cover well. And then I looked up on Pinterest rock art and got some ideas, some things that I thought would be doable for me. So you can't see it really, but to the on the left of your screen is where my laptop is set up, so I can look at my inspiration while I am doing the painting. Also, with this paint, I'm only putting a very small amount. I would not recommend the paper cups that are at Dollar General, which is what I'm using to put the paint in, because over, you know, an hour or so they started to soak through. Also, the paint brushes I did get at Dollar General in the art section, so they were super inexpensive. That was helpful as well. So next time I would just use like a little paper plate, because I was only putting a little dot in the bottom of that paper cup, because a little goes a long way and you could always add more, but you don't want to waste your paint. So this paint is going to go a very long way and paint an awful lot of rocks. But I literally just did it while I was watching a TV show. So after about an hour or so, I felt like I was done and I just stopped. And it's a funny thing, I can even get very deadline oriented doing something as fun as painting a rock and feel like I have to do so many rocks. And I think doing videos kind of makes that more intense, because you're like, no, I want to be able to show all this and have this many rocks to show in my video. But that doesn't really, that defeats the purpose of choosing something that would give you relaxation. Thin layers also helps it to dry quickly, and the pens are the kind that you have to like push down to activate. So, and I kind of look like I'm dabbing, but really it's better if you just push down until it's, you know, you can see the paint in the little brush that is the pen. And so then I am just going over the blue with the pens. And I'm telling you, I've tried to paint rocks before. Having those pens was a complete and total game changer. But I did think it would be too much to paint over the whole rock to try to color, and it would have been, especially the rough nature of a rock. So it was better to paint it first. My other ideas is I could have spray painted a base coat of like white or black and then put designs on top with the pens. Or you could use any exterior paint. You know, if you have exterior paint left over from painting the outside of your house or your trim work or anything like that, you could use that too. You know, you're just looking for something that won't wash off in the rain. So any exterior friendly paint is going to work. It doesn't have to be patio paint. If you have kids or grandkids, this is great. I bought patio paints years ago. I think I mentioned it last time we were talking about this in my channel. And I gave the kids paintbrushes and Rubbermaids or paper cups or whatever with water, and I just let them go to town outside. And they were so busy for hours and so happy, especially in a place like Maine where we have so many rocks.
I was going back and forth between the paintbrushes and the pens, just whatever seemed to work for me in that moment. It was a lot of fun, and I had a Netflix show on. I think another great thing to do is to put music on YouTube on the TV and listen. I mean, there's even those really calming ones that have jazz music or classical music, Christian music, you know, whatever you love to listen to, worship music. And it's just a great way to relax. It would also be fun to do outside. So let me know if you've ever done painting rocks or if you would ever do it. I also am going to start doing some projects with pine cones that I'll be showing you as well. Just finding things around the yard that I can use to make the yard more beautiful when it's, you know, changed to another form. And so I hope that you'll stick around for that. I hope today's video was encouraging for you. If it was, and you have never subscribed to my channel, I am a mom of 7. I show all the homemaking things here, from cleaning to decluttering, DIYs, gardening, all the whatever I happen to be doing. And so if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll give it a try and subscribe, and YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. So now I'm going to show you what it came out of. Like, I put the word relax in it, or rest actually. I thought it was relax, and this is where I put it. And now I will show you that bench. So here it is. This is where we put it. I'm going to need to dust it often because dirt roads. And I'd like to even out. There's like a hump here. I need more dirt or something back here, and then I could back it up more so that it's not like right on top of the road. But for now, I'm very happy. I got it on Amazon. It was like $119, and I love the bird detailing. So I'm super happy. I'm going to announce it, even though I do want to get flowers, maybe plant some ferns. You know, some extra hostas could go in here. But for now, I'm very, very happy with it. Remember, God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.